Hey guys, it's John, small time bookseller. I'm here with another video and trying to slowly catch up to modern times. And so we're going to be talking about the sales that happened in June this time, which will be a short video. But that's what I do. I sell things on eBay and then eventually get around to telling you about them here on the old YouTubes. And so if that's what you like, then enjoy, because I don't do garage sale videos. I don't do yard sale videos. I don't do GoPros at the good old bins, looking at my hands made grotesque by terror, twisted and distorted as a living thing by pain, danced like some foul puppet on a stand. Yes. Nope. Just making videos about things that sold on eBay. So we're going to go through them. And like I said, this will be kind of a short video because there were a total of 28 sales in June. And so I was going to also mention that it'd be a good time to talk about vacation mode and what I did when I went on vacation mode to be able to get some of those sales. So I was gone for a month. And what you can do on eBay is if you put your store on vacation mode for a month, people can look at your stuff, but they're not allowed to purchase. They won't be allowed to purchase anything. And but what you can do is, if you're only going to be gone, I think it's 15 days or less, you can put it on, I don't know if they call it the same thing, time away, and in which case people are still allowed to buy things, even though, but it will update the date that's going to be shipped out. So it lets the buyer know. In the first case, if you're going to be gone for a month, it says this seller is away until, and then you have the date. And but if it's for the other one, it says, you know, it'll say this seller's away, and it must be shipped by, and it'll update that date. So what I did, being gone a month, initially I have to put it on the month-long time away vacation mode, and people are able to see my things but are not able to purchase any. And then as I'm on vacation, when I get to that 2 weeks before I'm heading back home, I will switch it to the 15-day one, and that way during those last 2 weeks that I'm gone on vacation, I start racking up the sales. Yeah. And so that's how I got some sales while I was gone for basically the entire month of June. We left at right at the end of May, like May 25th, and didn't get back till like June 24th or 25th or something. So these sales happened during that month of June while I was gone on vacation. And so, you ready? We're going to get into this, and you'll see what I sold. I've been just going through I've been cutting out the lower denomination sales in the last couple of videos. This time I'm going to go through all of them because there's not that many. So here we go. The first sale was not a book. It was a quilt block, 18 by 18 quilt block, sold for $6.50. Super easy to pack. Just put it in a poly mailer, real easy. So I had no problem selling that for $6.50. And then we had a book. This was the Alfred's Basic Adult All-in-One Course, Book 3, sold for $8. I have pretty good luck with music books, as far as whether it's straight up piano music or guitar music, or if it's learning how to play piano or learning how to play guitar. A lot of that stuff does sell pretty well. Not for a lot of money, but it does sell pretty well. And then another good genre to look for are repair manuals for cars. This was the Haynes Datsun Pickup 620 series from 1973 through 79. Good luck if you've got an old Datsun from the 70s. Still trying to keep that thing running. More power to you. It sold for $10 for that one. So those, even the older books like that will sell. Again, some of them sell for pretty good money, but they'll all sell for something. And then we had another hat, Firestone Tires. This was a nice looking hat, sold for $10. And then another book, we had the Boy Scouts of America from 1970 edition, sold for $10. Those are things you see quite a bit out and about, especially in the Goodwill bins, or Boy Scout books, Girl Scout books. Older ones, people want to get the one they had when they were a kid, something like that. Those can sell pretty well as well. And then I had a DVD. This is a 7-disc DVD on the Roosevelts, an intimate history, sold for $10. That was one of those Ken Burns deals. And then we had this one, another vintage book from 1955, The American Southwest Golden Regional Guide. Just a little bitty book, so for 10 bucks. Again, easy to ship, just no problem selling that for $10. Same thing with this one, another RB theme book that you've been watching. You know I've been selling a lot of RB theme books. This is called Tongues, and it's 1974, sold for $10. It's basically a pamphlet. I'm going to throw that thing inside one of those rigid envelopes, and it fits in there, and that's what I've been shipping them off in. Then we had another hat. This is a Mack truck with a gold bulldog logo, sold for $12. And then I couldn't believe I sold one of these. I can't believe I even picked these up. I don't know why I did. I think they're 50 cents each, and there's a bunch of them. But anyways, Horses for All Seasons calendar plate. Danbury mint plate, sold for $12. I probably would never pick these up again, even at 50 cents a piece. They just sit forever. They don't sell. Don't do it. Don't pick them up. Yeah. Or do and sell one every year for 12 bucks. If you got the room, you know, I might sell another one in another year, and I'll be glad I had it. Then we had an 1898 book of John Stoddard's Lectures, Volume 8, sold for $12 as well. This is kind of an interesting book here. This was the Russian Army book put out by the Russian Federation on the Russian Army from 2004, sold for $12.50. And as I recall, am I making this up, or is this true? I think it's true. I think that actually went overseas for sure. I can't remember which country it went to, but it was definitely overseas for that one. But then we talked about this in the last video, picking up instruction manuals. Well, here we go again, a Canon EOS Rebel instruction manual, sold for $15. It's just the manual, which again, you see those a lot, just laying in the Goodwill bins, things, and so pick up manuals. Then we had a 1940s copy of Good Wives, a hardcover by Louisa May Alcott, Juvenile Productions edition, sold for $15. And then we had another Not a Book. These are poker chips, sold for $17.50. I had 60 Budweiser poker chips. I'd gotten a big old bag of poker chips at that little thrift store by the high school, and I put them into different size lots, and finally sold them all. Some degenerate gambler up in Canada bought like the whole thing, bought everything except for like 4 of them. So I put those in as a freebie. I got rid of all of them in one big sale to somebody in Canada. And then we had, this was a 1985 reprint of Mary Austin Holly's Texas book, 1750 on the 1985 reprint. The original is from like the 1830s. And this was like facsimile copy of that original. So it's a pretty cool book. But if you get that 1830s one, that's like thousands and thousands of dollars. I would love to find one of those someday. And then we had Groundbreakers, a story of oil field technology, sold for $20. And then we had another good genre to look for is study guides. So here's one that's the Past the 65, a training guide for the NASAA Series 65 exam. It's over $20. I have no idea what that is, but somebody needed to pass it. And then we had the Ebony Success Library book set, volumes 1 through 3, $22. These are big. They don't sell real well. It takes up a lot of room. I may not pick these up again unless I probably got them for 50 cents each or so, but they sat for a while too. This is an interesting one from 1966 called Blueberry Culture, literally about blueberry farming. It's not like a euphemism for something else. It really was blueberry culture, all about growing blueberries. $22.50. And another hat. Man, what is that, like 4 hats so far? This is a Continental Airlines hat, sold for $25, a vintage hat with a pretty cool design on it. And then we had the In Search of a Home, 19th century Wendish immigration, sold for $25. And we had the first dishes of the day, 3 Master Cuisine square bowl, pottery bowls, whatever you call them. They're bowls. It's over $25. So 3 of those. And they didn't break. At least if they did break, the guy didn't mention it. So I'm guessing I shipped those okay. And then I sold a stamp. This was a Slovakia stamp. It sold for $30. I ended up having to refund this. I was very careful to put it in a you know, those little cellophane kind of envelopes you get at the post office when you buy stamps. I had it in one of those, and then I had that inside a rigid envelope, and then I had that envelope inside a bubble mailer. No, I had that inside I think it was a box. I knew it was going overseas, so I didn't want to just put it in the rigid thing. Anyhow, it didn't get bent, but it got wet somehow, and the guy sent me pictures, and he said when he got it, he was stuck to the cellophane, and I guess I didn't tape up the little edges quite well enough, but I ended up having to refund that. But it was still a good sale, so stamps can sell pretty well. Then we had this one, Midnight Mavericks, Reports from the Underground, sold for $30. Homage unto Ahura Mazda, sold for $31. That was part of that same group I was telling you last week when we talked about the sales of the Corda Avesta, and this was in that same group of books. This is called the Ahura Mazda. Sold for $31. And then we had the 13 Steps to Mentalism, 1996 copy of that for $35. And then another copy of the Ahura Mazda from 1941. Same guy that bought the other ones. He bought 2 copies of it. They're different versions. This one was a 1941 copy, sold for $56.99. And there you have it. 11 and a half minutes in. We're done with all the books. We even had little stories to tell and everything. So what did that bring us today? That was 28 sales for $532.99. $19.03 average. And yeah, so that was pretty much all I've got for you today. Gonna go edit this thing and send it out tomorrow. I went to the Goodwill bins yesterday on Saturday, and so I'll be showing you what I picked up there. Got quite a few good books and some other things as well, and that'll be out Thursday, where I'll show you everything I picked up from the week. And you know, we'll hit July coming up. I'm catching up real soon. Gotta stop living in the past, man. So I will catch you hopefully sooner rather than later. Hope you're selling the heck out of a bunch of stuff if that's what you're after. And I'll see you later. Adios.